Now, the first 6 months of being a firefighter has taught me a lot. I walked into the station, my first shift, thinking I'll spend the day learning names, figuring out where the tools were, and trying not to look like the new guy. But instead, within a couple of hours, we were heading to a working structure fire. A moment later, I'm pulling up to a window where fire is blaring out, and I'm just like, what is going on? This is the moment, though, where it clicked to me that the training was over, and this is the real deal. So we were the first on scene on a 3-man engine, and I was pulling the attack line. A few minutes later, I was inside my first working fire, and honestly, couldn't even believe it. You don't really know what to expect until you're actually in the situation, and everything's different. The heat, the smoke. When you're in there, you really can't see much of what's going on. And you got to rely and trust your crew to do their job, and you need to be doing your job as well. So looking back, shout out to my lieutenant, my medic. You guys know who you are. And watching how calm you were made a huge impression on me, and kind of allowed me to do my job with a sense of calmness as well. And what's crazy was that situation wasn't even the biggest part of the day necessarily. Later that day we had a cardiac arrest almost right after, and later that night we had a stroke. But in total we ran 10 calls. Busy day. It was a lot to process. I'm now about 6 months into the job, and honestly it feels like I know almost nothing still. I've learned a lot along the way. I've asked questions. I still make mistakes, but there's so much to learn still. And I think that if there's anything that these 6 months have taught me, it's not just how to be a firefighter, it's how this job has changed my life. It's changed how I looked at my life. During the academy, I lost a friend. I lost my brother-in-law shortly after as well. They both were young. And both the deaths were completely unexpected. Then I started working the job. I've been into homes where families were saying goodbye to someone they loved. I've seen people had no idea that the morning would be their last. And that's probably the biggest lesson this job has taught me. Death doesn't care how old you are. It doesn't care how much money you have. It doesn't care what your plans are for the next week. It comes for everybody. I don't say that to sound negative. If anything, it's done the opposite for me. It's made me appreciate life a lot more. It's made me appreciate dinner with the family, time with my wife, calling my parents, time with the siblings, laughing with friends, whatever the case may be. And even with the boring days that I used to take for granted, I've learned to respect death, because it reminds me how valuable life truly is. And more than anything, this job has pushed me closer to Jesus, our God. This job reminds me almost every shift that life is temporary, and my faith reminds me that it isn't meaningless. It isn't. So now, instead of worrying so much about what's next, I'm trying to be more present with what God already has given me. I'm still learning how to be a firefighter. I've got a long way to go, but if I can take one lesson from these first 6 months, it's this: don't wait for something tragic to happen to appreciate the people around you. Tell them that you love them. Spend time with them. Thank God for the ordinary days, because one of those ordinary days will be your last, and none of us know which one it will be. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I wish the best for everybody out there.